Hi, my name is Kerry and I'm the Tween librarian at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. Today I'm going to show you how to make a felt monster plushie. So first, let's get our supplies together. You're going to need some felt scraps, some stuffing, a needle and thread, scissors, pen or pencil, and then some optional things, some monster templates, and tacky glue. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is to cut our sheet in half crosswise. So I'm going to fold it in half, hamburger style, and then I'm going to use my scissors to just cut right across the middle. Next, you're going to want to cut out one of your monster templates. You could also skip cutting out and just go ahead and draw directly on your felt. I already have one cut out, so I'm going to trace around my template on to my felt, and that's going to show me where to cut. All right, so now make sure both of your pieces of felt are on top of one another, and then you're going to go ahead and cut around the line that you just created. All right, so now I've got my monster outline. Next, we are going to thread our needles. So I'm going to be using black thread. If you need help with this, you can always ask a grown-up, or maybe you have a needle threader at home, which will make it a little bit easier, but it's always good practice to learn how to thread a needle. All right, and actually I'm going to use all of my black thread. So now I'm going to tie a knot in the end of the thread. You can just tie a regular knot. I'm going to show you how to make a magic knot. So you're going to face the needle and the thread towards one another. You're going to take the thread and hold it with one finger and wrap it around 1, 2, 3 times. Then you're going to hold the thread and the needle between those 2 fingers, and you're going to slide it all the way down. Have a little knot at the end. So next, we are going to sew all the way around the edge of our monster. We're just going to leave about 1 or 2 inches open on one of the edges so that we can add the stuffing. We're going to be using a running stitch, which is a really nice, easy, basic stitch that I'll show you in a second. First, I want to show you, I'm going to flip this because it has a little bit of pen on it. So I'm going to flip it over so that it's on the inside and you can't see it. All right, so for my first stitch, I'm going to hide the knot between these 2 pieces of felt. So I'm actually just going to go through my top piece for my first stitch. And then now the knot will be on the inside and you won't see it. All right, so to do a running stitch, you're basically just going up and down through both pieces of felt. And then you're going to pull all the way through. So I've made my first stitch. Now my needle's on the bottom and I have to come back through from the bottom through both pieces. Now out the top. And that's all you have to do to make a running stitch. Now I'm going to go from the top, back down, through the bottom, and pull all the way through. You're going to want to make pretty small stitches and pretty close to the edge. That'll keep the stuffing inside your monster. All right, so I'm gonna stop here and leave a little bit of an opening so that I can add the stuffing. So I'm gonna kind of just keep my needle right here for safekeeping and then get my stuffing ready. So you're gonna wanna fluff your stuffing a little bit and also break it into smaller pieces to stuff your monster. And you can use your pen or pencil to stuff it into kind of those smaller spaces. You could have this head on this one. You might have arms or legs, so you'll definitely want to, it'll be hard to do it just with your hands, so you can use something longer to get the stuffing to go where you want it. Again, break into smaller clumps and then stuff until it's nice and fluffy, or as stuffed as you want it. All right, I like the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing up now. Just going to continue with my running stitch. And I'm just going to knot off my thread. So I'm just going to take my needle and go through this loop that I just made before I pulled the stitch all the way through to make a little knot. And I'm just going to knot it one more time at the end. Now we can cut our extra thread. And there we almost have a little monster. So now you can use your felt scraps to add like eyes and a mouth and whatever else you want. I'm going to be using tacky glue, so I'm just going to glue them to my monster. If you don't have glue or you just want to do more sewing, then before you actually sew these two pieces together, you could sew on your accessories if you wanted to do that. If you don't, you can do what I'm doing and just glue them on. So I'm going to make some eyeballs. And I'm going to make a little. You can add as much detail as you want. If you have some Sharpies at home, you could definitely use a Sharpie to decorate it as well, or fabric paint or puff paint. If you don't have tacky glue, but you have hot glue, you could use that as well. All right. So there's my monster plushie. You can pick up supplies for this project outside the library on the Activity Kit clothesline, or you can use supplies that you have from home. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy making your own monster plushies.